Hey everyone, today we are doing a smaller, I'd say, fall makeover on the back deck compared to what we did on the front deck and what I'm going to continue to do on the front deck. So whereas with everything out front, I plan to leave a lot of the things I'm planting this fall for like the birds and other wildlife that might want to feed off of it, also just to give some sort of visual interest out there, even if everything is going to be brown. Out here though, it's a little bit different. So this one is where I'm going to plant bulbs, and I've learned that from mistakes in the past, if I'm going to plant bulbs in containers, I have to cover them. So I'm going to tarp the bed that's going to have the bulbs in it this fall. I'll go over that more in the video when I actually get my bulbs, and maybe about a month. So that's going to be tarped, meaning that nothing's going to stay in there over winter. So I might add some plants that I know I'm going to pull at the end of the season. The other two beds, I am going to add some more, and I might leave some plants in there over the winter, again, just for some sort of structure. I'm not sure yet. And then everything else that's in containers is going to be either stored, because they are perennials, stored in the greenhouse, stored in the garage, stored somewhere. So there's not going to be as much of a fall makeover out here, but I did get some pretty things from Gethsemane Garden Center that I'll show you. And I think I might take some of the stuff in smaller pots out front and shift it back here in the border. So the border is basically where I'm going to be doing all of the planting today. We do have a little bit of cloud cover, so while it's overcast, this bed on the left, I'm going to leave everything that's in there, even though I don't think that on sale echinacea is going to bloom, but I don't know, we'll see. I might pull the asters today, not sure. I am going to pop some more stuff in this bed. I'm going to leave the sweet potato vine and the petunias for now because they still look good. This bed here is where the bulbs are going to be. So I'm not going to put anything in here that I would intend to leave up over winter. I'm going to only put things in here that I know I'm going to pull before I get my bulbs in there. Again, that'll probably be late October, early November. And then same thing with this bed as the one on the other side. I'm not going to put bulbs in here, so I might actually put some stuff that I would leave up over winter. And that's pretty much all I'm going to work on. I don't know if I'm going to pull anything else today. We'll kind of see where it goes, but let me show you what I got. Okay, so first off, I do have two blue hollies. I will be doing something with them. I'm not going to do it today, and I also don't know if it's going to be the best decision, but we'll see. But behind it, I have the fall plants. And actually, let me step. So one problem of the small garden is everything's everywhere, so I don't want to get stabbed by the rose, but I have two different flowers here. This one was just stunning. As soon as I walked into the garden center, I was like, yes, definitely getting this one. This one is not a ton of information on this label, but it's Rudbeckia August Flame. And here, so again, with fall plants, they're not going to grow as much as plants you're planting in the spring because there's not much left in the growing season. But these potentially could get 14 to 16 inches tall. Doesn't say zones on here, but we will plant that, and I'm going to plan to leave it through the winter. And then I also got some more echinacea. So this one is the coneflower powwow white. Let's see if this says anything about zones anywhere. This one has a little bit more information on it. Yep, USDA zone 429. So yeah, I'm gonna pop these in the back raised beds. I'll kind of see how it's looking, and then if I want to go grab some more plants from the front. So first off, I do think I'm going to go ahead and just pull both of these asters because they're not looking great anyway. And probably going to dry these rather than use them in bouquets. So I only have two left in here. Grab these out. Now I think I like the height of this one here. I'm just going to set that in there for a second. Okay, I think that's what I'm going to do with that one. Again, that's the powwow white, and then the autumn blaze, Rudbeckia. I think that'll look nice in that corner. Let me step back and see what I think. Yeah, I do. Well, should I move that other echinacea? The on sale one? I'm gonna leave it for now. We'll see what happens. I can always pull it later. So let's do first. All right, one down, one to go in here. Do I want to shift anything? No, I think I'm gonna leave that where it is. The gomphrena, which that I'm gonna pull near the end of the season too, but gomphrena usually lasts pretty long for me. I think because they're so close to looking how they do when they're dried anyway, that even when they start to dry out, they still look really pretty. All right, your next powwow white echinacea, I think that's what it was. There's a little bit of a different formation as far as what's left in this one, but I think I like the idea, again, of the taller on the outside. Not that they're that much of a difference in height right now, but echinacea on the outside, and then Rudbeckia more closer to the center. It feels so nice to be filling in these spots because I was not happy looking at them when we still have a good chunk of time left, I'd say, in the growing season. I mean, not a ton of time left, but enough that I don't want to stare at empty holes. I do obviously water these in, even though I have the drip system set up, because anytime you want to plant something, you want to go ahead and give it a drink right then. And then after that, I might still water them manually, even if I have the drip running, because the drip probably doesn't run as often as new plantains would like to be watered. So I'll check on these over the next few days too, but I think we're actually going to get rain, which it's been a while, but I think we're going to get rain 2 days from now, which I'm really excited about. That's one of the things that I've changed about gardening is I used to hate rainy days because then you're stuck inside, but now I'm so excited because I know it's good for the plants and that I won't have to water myself that day. So I brought this over from the front deck, and my plan was potentially dig up, I think there's 2 or 3 plants in here of the gomphrena, and see if I can put them into the center raised bed. But I do know that when I've tried to repot these, the stems are very fragile and break. So we're going to see if I can get this out without breaking it. If I do break everything, then I will just go ahead and try these inside. So win-win either way, but I'd prefer if they get a little bit more time in the garden. Now some of these branches look like they're broken already, so I'm going to take those out, and let's see what I can do here. Is there? No, I thought there was 4 for a second. I didn't go too crazy at least, but I definitely could have just done like 1 in this pot and it would have been fine. I'm also going to try to not break the terracotta this time, because this is it 12 inches? I think this is a 12-inch terracotta pot. I don't have many of these. In fact, maybe only 2, whereas the 8-inch pots I have, I don't even know how many I have. A ton of those, since that's what I grow my herbs in. Oh, you know what? There's this is a very, very tiny plant over here. I don't even know if this is worth, no, this one is not worth. There's only a couple of branches on this. Toss those over there. I don't know how well this is going to work out. All right, let's try to loosen this up some more. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this out of the pot without breaking these. You know, at first I was like, oh, I can just shift things around in pots. That'll save me some money. But now I'm like, maybe I should have just gone ahead and bought some more plants to fill. I wonder if there's anything here I can pop in too that might be easier to dig up. Maybe, we'll see. I'm at that time in the year where I'm just ready for things to cool down. I'm ready to not have as much maintenance in the garden. And although I dislike cold weather very, very much, like we could have winters in the 60-degree temperatures. That would be fantastic. But I am ready to have less responsibility in the garden. Oh, broke another branch. You go to the dry pile. Yep, nope. Okay, I don't know if this is gonna work out because I just broke off pretty much the majority of that plant. So we might just have a bunch more gomphrena to dry. I can't even really tell which of these plants is which because they are all falling together. So we're just going to pull you and pull you. Now I have that to dry. Get the root balls out of here. And then this will be an empty pot to bring inside for the season. 2 root ball. I know there's a 3rd one in here. Oh, thank you for coming out easily. All right. Yeah, surprisingly small root balls considering 3 giant gomphrena plants in there. All right, well, let's see what else I can think of to fill the empty spaces. All right, new game plan. I think I'm gonna plant the sedum because again, this is something that's in a pot without drainage and I am trying to eliminate that before we head out. So I think I might put this in one of the beds, leave it over winter because this should be zone 3. So it should survive in there. I can either leave it in that bed next year or pop it out sometime in the spring and replant it somewhere else. But let's go ahead and plant this there now, assuming I can get it out without breaking the top off, which I think this one seemed a little less root bound, and because it's not in terracotta, I can squeeze the edges. So let's try to be gentle. Oh, okay, that came out really easily. Okay, not a huge root ball. Again, this was super tiny when I planted it, so let me go pop this in the bed, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I think I might have gone a little garden crazy with my plans, which I basically just abandoned and start plopping things wherever they fit. I also uncovered some more issues in the process and some really cool things I want to show you. So what I thought was going to be just, you know, an easy video, planting like 5 or 6 new plants in these raised beds has made me clean out a lot, replant a lot that was in other containers. I still have some cleaning to do, but it is a little bit warm and I might save that for a cooler day. But I'll take you around and show you what I did, and then we'll see if things look good in a few days from now. So just first of all, I mean, it does look fuller in these beds, which is great, and that was the plan. I don't know if I mentioned, I know I didn't show this, but I did end up pulling the queen lime zinnias, but the roots are still in there. I don't feel like cleaning out these pots yet. And the super petunias are still looking good. So I'm gonna leave those for now. But if we come over here, I planted on the left the echinacea, who also, that pot right there is where I plan to put the evergreens. But I have the echinacea, I popped in the rudbeckia, and then also the sedum right there. And yeah, I think that looks fine. I'm gonna plan to leave most of these things through the winter. Like I'll pull the petunias, I'll pull, I don't know why, but every time I say sweet potato vine, my brain first goes to snake plant. No idea why, but I'm gonna pull those. I'm gonna pull the gomphrena, but I wonder, and I'll probably pull the celosia too, because I'm wondering if that'll hold form in the winter. But at least the coneflower, the rudbeckia, I think will hold through the winter. So I think my plan for the sedum will be to overwinter in here, because it does have a better chance of survival versus a pot. It is down to zone 3, so I think it should be good. So that'll die back, and then hopefully it comes back in the spring. I'm probably gonna have to stick a note in there, or else I will forget, like a little plant tag. I'll forget that it's there and accidentally dig it up. But if it sprouts, I'll either leave it there or move it somewhere else. But I do kind of want to get into more of like perennials in my beds and containers, but at the same time that I love my annuals. I don't know. We'll see what happens next year. Now in this center bed, like I said, this is going to be where the bulbs are, so everything's going to get pulled. So I just kind of went crazy, moving stuff around from pots to make this look a little bit fuller. So I have here the Cleome on the left. This is the Bright Lights Horizon Sunset Osteospermum. And then I put one of the Super Bells in here too. I think this one was amber. Just wanted to fill up some space because the petunias on the corners, they had the pots in front of them with the zinnias, so they didn't get as big because they were blocked by other plants. So that's why I don't think, at least in this raised bed, I'm going to plant trailing plants next year because they get blocked anyway. Then over here, I still see like one hole I can fill, but I just popped in the Rudbeckia and the coneflower. I guess, yeah, I didn't do anything crazy in this bed with plants from other pots, although now I'm thinking of what I could potentially do, but I need to stop myself. Now over here is kind of where I made a mess, although it actually doesn't look that bad now. I did already bag up some of the plant waste that I pulled. I have back here a chair full of gomphrena to take inside and dry. I found some pests on flowers, not the gomphrena, but some other flowers. The asters, for example, that I was going to take in had scale on them. So I already did. I just chopped them up and I put them in that bag right there. But let's see, oh yeah, what I wanted to show you. So first, some not very fun things, but interesting. I definitely was so distracted by the powdery mildew on my zinnias that I didn't even bother, like, I don't know, looking for anything else. Also late in the season, I just kind of let whatever's gonna happen happen. But can you see all of the little, I don't know if it's little eggs, if it's little scale, I don't really care. It's going to be chomped up and put in the bag too, but I kind of just wanted to show you that. And then something exciting, at least I think, I forgot. Well, I didn't forget, but I just kind of didn't think much about it after planting. But I did plant some things in the eco pots. So this is an eco pot I planted. The Super Bells was in this. Planted it late May, mid to late May. Now we're into September, so that's about 5 months. And this is how much it broke down in 5 months. Now in a container, I do water more often, and I think that helps to break it down. That's kind of cool. What I'm going to do, because that's what they said you can do, is just break this up and leave it in the soil to let it continue to break down over time. But yeah, I'm now excited to see how that really turned out. Over here is where I pulled the plants. So the zinnias and the Cleome were in that white pot. To the right, the osteospermum was in a pot in between my feverfew and my bidens, which I wonder if I should hit them with some fertilizer. I've kind of stopped fertilizing too, just because it's that point in the season. You know how it goes. I don't know if anyone kind of stays on top of all the tasks in September that they were doing in like June and July, but I definitely don't. But this side, at least, now they have a little bit more room there. Here's just another look at the beds. I'm happy that they're more full now. I didn't like seeing all of the empty space. You can't really see behind the beach plum. I might get some pansies too. Those weren't really out yet at the garden center, but I might get some pansies and maybe put them in case some of these other things die. But we'll see how it goes and how I feel. So that's going to be everything for this video. I feel like I should apologize because I think I went into it thinking this is going to be a very well organized, straightforward video, and then I just kind of haphazardly started doing things. So hopefully when I edit it, it can make a little bit more sense. But honestly, this is how most of my projects in the garden go, which is why I always spend more time than I plan to in the garden. Like I'll be like, oh, I'm going to go out for maybe 30 minutes, plant some things, and then 2 hours later, I'm still doing stuff. But that's the fun part of gardening. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.